On Thursday Night Football, the Dolphins beat the Jaguars 31-13. And I don't think the outcome of that game was all that surprising. If you look at what happened week 1 and week 2 with the Miami Dolphins, they were competitive with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots in the first 2 weeks. They're better than people give them credit for. Miami can play. They got they're doing a lot of interesting stuff. They got a lot of cohesion as a team. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick, man, I feel bad. It's such a shame because if Ryan Fitzpatrick was 37 years old and it was 25 or 23 instead of 37. He's 37 years old as the quarterback for the Dolphins. He's a franchise quarterback. Like, you feel good about the direction they're going. And unfortunately, he's at the end of the career, not the beginning of his career. But I also got to say, like, he's such a good mentor for Tua Tagovailoa, the rookie quarterback behind him. And everything the Dolphins are doing right now, I feel good about it. They're headed in such a good direction. And it's just awesome. Like, I can't remember the last time Miami was really an interesting team I thought was headed in a good direction. I'm glad they are finally now. Now, the story of the game to me from last night is, in fact, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the 37-year-old quarterback. Like, there was a play. He has a rushing touchdown. He's running off the field. Dude looks so happy. He's got a giant grin. He's hitting people on the top of the head. Like, I love watching the dude play. My girlfriend's next to me watching the game going, that dude looks both terrified and happy at the same time, where he's like running and you see on his face, she goes, it looks like he's saying, I have a family, don't kill me. But Fitzpatrick last night was 18 for 20 passing, had 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, started the game 12 for 12. Just an incredibly efficient performance and deserves a lot of credit. Now, Miami's running back, Myles Gaskin, is a guy, he was a 7th-round pick in 2019 out of the University of Washington. I watched him play live. And the dude ran well. He caught 5 passes out of the backfield as well. I enjoy watching Myles Gaskin have success out of college. It's really, really cool. And I don't know that a lot of people are highlighting Myles Gaskin today, but as a guy from Washington, watching him play in college, watching him play in Pullman, Washington live, it's cool to see the guy have some success in college. Now, Minshew, the guy from Pullman, Gardner Minche from Washington State University. Maybe the word I would use to describe Gardner Minche, unfortunately, because I love the guy, the word I would use to describe Gardner Minche on Thursday night is underwhelming. Maybe even disappointing a little bit, where last night I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. When is Gardner going to turn it on? When is there going to be like a shift in gear and he's got to step up and bring his team back into the game? And the reality is that it never happened. And even more of the reality, which is really unfortunate, is that there was this play where Gardner had a receiver open down the right sideline, should have been a touchdown, and he missed. He just totally missed the throw. Now, he got hit. He was getting hit as he threw. You can make excuses if you want, but the reality is that that's a play that's going to remain in people's head for a long time. Conley down the sideline, wide open, should have been a touchdown. And instead, it was a brutal miss. And so I really felt kind of bad for Gardner Minshew, honestly. Like, he was missing his best receiver, DJ Chark, last night. And he's out with an injury. And Gardner, I don't know. Like, there's little problems with the Jaguars roster that we could get into if we want. They were limited from throwing the ball downfield, partially because they didn't have DJ Chark in the lineup. Now, there was this really unfair moment that hurt the Jaguars last night. The Jaguars left tackle, Cam Robinson, got thrown out of the game for making contact with a ref. And I hate the call. I thought it was really stupid. It was terrible. Because not only did it hurt the Jaguars offense, it was also deeply unjust, unfair, stupid, bad call. I hated it. Cam was on, in case you didn't see the play, Cam was on his back looking up. He's got a helmet on. And the refs came to try to, pull people out of the pile, kind of clear things up on the field. And a ref put his hand in the face of Cam Robinson, and Cam pushed it away. Immediately, a flag was thrown. He got disqualified. And the refs there were incredibly unfair. I need to realize Cam Robinson is on his back. And from his perspective, with a helmet on, all he can see is a pair of hands grabbing and kind of clawing at his face. I don't know about you. I hate when people touch my face, my neck, my face. It's not fun. Now, on a football field, especially, like, you're at the bottom of a pile, like, get out of here, get off me. You think it's the other team. How could he have known that's a referee kind of invading his privacy, invading his space? I just think it's incredibly ridiculous for a ref to get in his space and then punish him when Cam goes, kind of pushes his hand away. That's not a penalty. You don't throw a guy out for that. Say, hey, I'm sorry, miscommunication, but do not ruin a guy's night because the referee, decided to put yourself into his area, his personal bubble. I don't know, man. If you're poking in a guy's face and then you get mad at him for being like, what are you doing? You're the person that's wrong there. So I thought throwing out Cam Robinson in that moment was incredibly dramatic, stupid. I hated it. It's a terrible, terrible call by the refs. Again, I don't even care that it affected the Jaguars. I just looked at that and went, that's incredibly unjust. That's unfair and ridiculous. And so I'm getting angry, but it made me so upset. Now, once again, the Jaguars undrafted rookie free agent running back James Robinson was awesome. The other Robinson twin, not really. He's not a twin. They're not even related, I don't think. In fact, they're not related. Let's be clear. James Robinson ran for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also caught 6 passes for 83 yards. I enjoy watching James Robinson. He's a really cool story. And I just think that's one of my favorite stories of the year is this guy, an unknown dude from Illinois State, enters the league. Nobody expects him to be good. And lo and behold, he does a great job for the Jaguars. He's their starting running back on day 1. And he's kept it going now 3 weeks in a row. Now, I want to say, despite the fact that Gardner Minche was imperfect on Thursday night, and I got to say, I think he was a bit too safe. He threw a couple checkdowns early where I thought he should have taken a shot downfield. He had some weird throws that downfield later where he probably shouldn't have completed them. And all that said, though, I think despite Gardner's weird imperfections on Thursday night, the Jaguars' offensive coordinator, Jay Gruden, really seems to like him. Seems like Jay Gruden and Gardner enjoy each other's company. They get along well. They're in watching them interact on the sideline for me is incredibly encouraging. I go, oh, they're smiling, they're high-fiving, they like each other. There's a good relationship there. You can just see that by the way they interact and their body language, I guess. And so I'm just curious to see how do things go, how do things progress as the year goes on. I think Gardner's the guy that's got to earn his job. Jay Gruden's done a good job. Jay Gruden's stable there. The question is, and maybe not, if the entire staff gets gutted, then Jay Gruden would lose his job. So it's in the best interest of Jay Gruden and Gardner Minche to do well together. And they're a good team. I like them. They're interesting. And because of that, I'm curious to see how the year continues and how it goes on for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And for Gardner Minshew, a guy who is very ferociously fighting to keep his job. So I'm excited. We'll see what comes next for the Jaguars. And I hope that Gardner Minshew can stick around and keep his job with the Jaguars. If not, I believe he can go somewhere else and keep his job. And maybe not keep his job, but go somewhere else and have an impact on another team down the road. Whether it's next year or sitting behind an older quarterback, learning for a year, then playing again in the future, I don't know. But I don't think Gardner's career is over after just this year, no matter what happens. And I'm excited to watch Gardner play the rest of this year to see if he can keep going and keep things better and maybe earn a job and keep his spot in Jacksonville.